Welcome to another edition of Interruptions. I'm your host. Today I've got another treat for you guys. If you look to the left of me and you see my backdrop, I got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman next to me. She's got a new single, um, waiting for you, and she
Yes.
also is a film writer. She's also
Hmm.
an actress. I'm talking no other than the beautiful. Now, if you can't remember her name, just think of the
I'm
alcohol.
gonna say it for you.
Alyze Alyze. How you doing, man?
Ugly.
How
There
you
we
doing?
go. Yes, you got it right, baby.
that take
You
that take
got it
me
right.
that took me back to the what was the 90s when
Yeah, them Alizé
Biggie and
drinks.
Pac, yeah, when Biggie and Pac was out, Alizé skip them away and drink some Alizé. Matter of fact, even Queen Latifah said
That's
it.
right. Drink some Alizé.
I ain't
Oh,
mad
he a
at you.
drinker.
I ain't mad at you. Uh, my first question for you, I wanted to ask because singing is a God given talent. So that's something God gave you. So you're not gonna see me with an LP or EP because I. But where did acting and writing come from? Because that's a different talent as well as a skill set.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because singing, being that I was younger singing
Mm-hmm.
and kind of chasing it for years, I was
Mm-hmm.
chasing it for a long time. And I became a little bit more, I became a little depressed in it. I became a little
Mm.
sad in that area because it wasn't working out the way I wanted.
Okay.
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 I was running into some goods and I was running into some bads. You get what I'm saying? But it was leading me somewhere. At the time I didn't understand it, but it was leading me. And
Okay.
actually it led me to writing films.
Okay.
I had just got off a 10 city tour in Tupelo, Mississippi, down in the South.
Okay.
And I remember being at a radio station, and the guy said, so they supposed to have played it. It was in rotation. The song was supposed to be in rotation. And I'm doing like giveaways and everything, Victoria's Secret giveaway cards and everything. And I get there to the station. He said, y'all got the song? I'm like, what the?
Do we have a song? No, do
He
you have a
said,
song?
he said, the we got the song. I'm like, you're supposed to have it in rotation. Like,
Right.
make this make sense.
You
So
just
I remember,
lied.
I was just really like that. That just took the cake for me. I had already
Okay.
been dealing with it, but that took the cake. And
All
I
right.
remember walking up out of there, and I looked at the people I was with, and I said, I just felt something in my spirit just say, all this is in vain. I just felt something in my
Mm.
spirit say that. And I went home, and I remember, like I said, I remember saying that to the people I was with, and they was like, "Nah, you talking in doubt," and they
Okay.
thinking I'm saying it. I'm like, something in my spirit just told me this.
Okay.
It just told me this, like me and you talking. So I remember going home, and I didn't really think about it too much, but I remember sitting in front of my yard in my car, just listening to the album that I had just made called Innocent. My
Okay.
first movie was named Innocent. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I was listening to the song, and all of a sudden, I was just like, why these people can't gravitate to my song? Am I bad? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I be jamming in there. I'm having fun.
Right.
All of a sudden, I just remember hearing another voice, and this voice said, write a movie. And I looked around like, what the heck? Who just said that? And I paid no attention. I'm like, well, I ain't about to talk about this. Somebody gonna think I'm really crazy out this bomb now. So
Uh-huh.
I go another week later. I tell you, I heard it again. And it said write a movie, and this time, and it spoke to me, write a movie. And when you write this movie, it's gonna give you more exposure than anything you ever done. And it did exactly that.
Wow.
It was the one thing, the movie Innocent was the one thing that when I tell you everything was given, I remember us running out of money to shoot
Mm-hmm.
the film
Mm-hmm.
because it was new to us. We was running out of money, and we went to somebody. I remember we had went to somebody because the guy that was shooting our film was still in the film stock and everything.
Oh, wow.
He was stealing the film stock and telling us, well, we can't shoot no more. We got a half-finished film that's just, we don't know if we're going to be able to complete this film.
Okay.
So the thing is that we remember going to somebody saying, we need some more money to buy some more film, and this person just gave us money. So what I'm telling you is that when God is involved,
yes,
everything, all the pieces come together the way they're supposed to. And
he
it's
makes
nothing
provision.
you can do. That's right. It's like he provided. If I called you to do it, I'm going to provide for it. And that's exactly what started Innocent. That was my first baby. Now, I was turned down from every company I went to,
Of course,
trying to get the movie out. Yeah, because it wasn't a big thing the way it is on Tubi now, where all these independents are really, able to shine and do what they're doing. But at the time, it was not
everybody ain't shining now. Wait a minute, now. Everybody ain't shining now.
Hey, look, it wasn't acceptable. Okay, and we ended up being. I ended up running across someone that only thing I saw is I remember them having a post, and they said, I saw it in a magazine talking about I can help independent filmmakers because I believe in Jesus. That's all I need to see was Jesus' name, right?
Well, you got what's the old adage? You got to be sent, not went. You got to be sent. You can't just went. You just can't go. You got to be, and you know what? Here's the funny part, and I'm sure you've experienced this. Something about in the arts, whether it be film or music,
right?
Everybody think they can do it. Like it's some. Oh, I can do that. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because to me, some actors are gifted, and then some people can. Bill Dukes told me that acting is being, and everybody don't know how to be. That's why when you said like on Tubi, I tell my wife, I like, sometimes I'm sitting and I'm watching, I'm like, okay, I don't know what they shot that on. They they say that came out in 2023.
Right.
And I tell my wife, I could have shot that on my cell phone and it would have looked better. So I don't know what they're using, and but the thing is, there are a lot of I'm not gonna even say a lot. There are some good films and TV shows on Tubi from independent people like yourself, but that's not everybody. That ain't everybody. And I try to tell people Tubi is the distributor. I don't know why people get it confused. Oh man, that's a Tubi. No, they the distributor. Just like when you go to the movie theater, they are the distributor. They're not the. So if the movie is bad, that don't have nothing to do with Tubi. That has to do with who wrote it. Well, I can't even say who wrote it. Sometimes I've seen the storyline is good.
Right.
It's just that the actors can't say let's act.
And that's where the mix up is with the whole film game. Like I was just telling somebody, I said, what I was noticing in the film game, like I said, I was called to write, to do what I was doing. It never was a love of mine to do. I never thought about writing a movie. So this coming across my path, God must saw something different than I did. Because I was just like, just let me sing. I'm cool with just singing and I'm good. So when I started writing and I came with my first film, I was in heavy doubt of it. Very doubtful. Oh my God, it ain't good enough. I don't have the right actors. My actors ain't celebrities. Everything that you could possibly, everything that you're saying right now, I thought about all that. Was I ready to be out in the forefront with that type of energy? You see what I'm saying? I even played a role in my first film. And so I was nervous, but I said, somebody got to do it. But I said, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to lose. I don't have nothing else to lose. I got children. I got to figure this out. I got to figure out how I'm going to make some money. And I was still working at the warehouse, working my little temp jobs. I was doing what I had to do. You see what I'm saying? So when my movie was put in Blockbuster, when it was available at Blockbuster, and it was just renting off the shelf. I mean, when I tell you, they couldn't keep it up there. I remember just being at work and somebody was like, "You got a movie at the thing?" I'm looking at them like, "What they talking about?" I didn't even know.
Well, the beautiful, and Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say that's the beautiful part about sometimes you think you're on the wrong road, as far as like you were
Yeah.
being depressed about you was trying to get your music out, you was trying to do this, that, and the other, and it
Right.
wasn't going the way you saw it. And God was
Right.
more like, no, you're on the right road because I'm gonna use what you want to
Yeah.
do first to do
Right.
this, and then I'm gonna have you to circle back to this. And
Yeah.
especially God knows what he's doing because if you think about it, I saw in the interview you talked about uh, where we come from the era of the CDs, the tape decks, and all that. Of course, the vinyl, and now we move to a digital space. And within the digital space, people ain't. Let's be honest, people ain't making money selling music. All right, they're making money off the shows. If people like the
That's right.
music, so
That's right.
what that
Right.
allowed you to do, God knew that and said, I know in your heart you love to sing and you do it for free.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is
Right.
I'm gonna take your writing ability and I'm gonna flip
Yeah.
you over here in the in the film
The mo-
industry
That's right.
where you're gonna make money and then you can do this just for the love of it. And
Yeah. That's
so
right.
I'm gonna balance you. So it's amazing. Sometimes we think we're on the wrong road,
And you
but
be on the right path.
you be on
That's
the
right.
right path. It just don't feel
Mhm.
like it at that time.
That's right. Yeah.
Um,
That's
when
right.
did you start making sure that you got your music out? When did you get an opportunity, from what you were doing in film, far as writing your own movies as well as acting, and then you
Right.
said, you know what, okay, now I can circle back and I
Hmm.
can I can hit them with the music. When did you get that opportunity?
Well, if you know that, like with my movies, because music is all I knew, it really was the thing that I really, really loved and knew. One thing
Mm-hmm.
I noticed, like if you go back to all of my movies, if you've been a follower for years or just know my work, I'm about 13, 14 films in.
Mm-hmm.
Within those films, I have music of mine's playing in most of them. In most of them, like if I'm not grabbing an artist that's just a rapper or somebody out there that's doing what
Mm-hmm.
they doing and
Mm-hmm.
putting them in there, my music was always inside of it to let people hear it. Okay, so
Gotcha.
me doubling back from the
Mm-hmm.
film thing was being able, I found my footing. It gave me the foundation. Like you said, it was just really about the foundation. And so now I have the foundation here. So now when it comes to the music thing, me coming back to it is because there was an energy of, that's always my love. That's always my baby. I do it whether I'm making money or not. I just love to do it. So me doubling back is just really just me wanting to get back to an authentic side of myself as well. You see what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Because we all got different talents and different gifts, and we just got to really find that thing. Sometimes you could be somewhere so long, and then all of a sudden, while you over there, you start getting stagnant. You start becoming more. You don't know why you're there no more. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know your purpose with it no more. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to make sure that I was not walking in a place where I'm just showing up. It's like going to work. I'm just showing up so I can make some money. Let me just show up. So you start thinking to yourself, hold up, that ain't how I want to be. I'm a very real person. I try to be very, I try to relate to people and understand
Right.
people, and I don't want to give them no half-ass stuff. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And that's what made me kind of double back to kind of go into the music thing, because it was just true to me. It's just always been true to me. The
Gotcha.
film thing is just something I can do. I can write. So the writing is definitely a part of me. I can think things there, just think all kinds of crazy stuff in my head.
So you got the imagination. Well, no, but
Oh my gosh.
sometimes if we don't, so I piggyback like what you were talking about with the music, right?
Mhm.
If you love it and you know you'll do it for free, right? Because
Right.
you love it,
Right.
then you'll always have a passion and try to perfect that
Pursue it.
craft,
That's right.
per-
Protect it.
perfect it
Yep.
because it's something that you just enjoy. If you're doing it
Right.
just for the money, if
That's
the
right.
money don't come quick, then people leave because
That's
they're
right.
like, "Oh man, the money, man, the money," and so that's that's why I got had you aligned the way he had you aligned.
Right.
Um, is when you are inspired to write, is your
Mhm.
inspiration the same in writing a film as it is writing a song, or that's just come from two different places?
They definitely come from, I think they have the same energy. I've noticed that when I'm writing a song, it's something that I watch people and I acknowledge people. Like, you know how they say people be talking, you be like, nobody's
Mm-hmm.
story is
Mm-hmm.
everybody got a story.
Right.
So if you gonna tell me something, just be mindful I'm a writer.
I'm a writer. All right.
So it might be something you about to say that's gonna be a good story, you know, or it just be something that makes my imagination go wild. So the way I look at it is that when I'm doing movies, I give a sense of passion because my passion is to entertain people. That's my number one passion. When I sing,
Okay.
I want people to be entertained. You know, when
Gotcha.
they listen to my music, I want it the same way with my movies, the same energy. But what
Gotcha.
happens is with the film thing, like you said, it's on Tubi, is doing what it's doing. The game is oversaturated right now. That's why you're able to say, "Oh, this person might have shot that with a camcorder, you know, with a phone."
I don't know what they shot that with.
So what happens is you don't feel special in that arena. So you tell yourself, well, you got your crowd, they watching you, but you just feel like, you know what, I still feel like I'm gonna complain somewhere. I'm gonna find something to complain about in the film world right now. Whether it's the cents that they like to pay, that the more people that show up,
Mm-hmm.
the dollar strings. Nobody understands that the dollar's going to shrink. You might get the streams, but it's just like a person that got a billion streams on in music, and they only get a certain amount on a check.
Okay, a
Now, if you
check that they can't believe that they got.
and they sit up there saying, what happened to the money? You make it. You got to ask. You start asking that question. Where the money is? So the game, when it's oversaturated, you take a break. Everything. It's like the music industry. It was oversaturated. Everybody could do it. And trust me, us as people of color and all other race, whatever, but us as color people, we all have certain gifts. That's kind of, we like to make people laugh. We
Mm-hmm.
like to sing. You go to church and you be like, oh, that woman can sing. That don't mean she need to be making a record.
True.
So
True. True.
so
True.
so what happened is the world has opened up. The whole industry now has opened up to everybody can do it. Everybody's a star.
Right, and that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, everybody, especially when it comes to entertainment, for some reason, everybody just believes that they can
Yeah.
do it as well. And I always say, like, you have a lot of actors, you have a lot of film directors, you have a lot of musicians, right? Um,
Right.
got a lot of podcasters.
That's right.
So what the problem is though is that people are not finding out how will I separate myself
Right.
but yet still be myself and be authentic in
That's
what
the
what,
key.
what I'm doing. So see, you and I came along in a time like you remember. People forget, like, when Michael Jackson dropped Off the Wall, Michael
Mm-hmm.
disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he
He did.
showed up with Thriller.
Yeah.
Then he disappeared again, and
Yeah.
he
He had
came
to get.
back
He
with
had to
Bad.
go back to the drawing board. That's
and
right.
and and I always say today, there's nothing wrong with social media, and you could be engaging a little bit,
Right.
but somebody told me a long time ago, say, man, you got to give people a chance to miss you. When people
That's
don't
right.
miss you and they just see you all the time, they get tired of you.
That's right. That's right. And
Oversaturated. Yeah.
that's what I didn't want to happen with me with films. I
Hmm.
could drop. I watch people drop 2 and 3 and 4 films in a year, and they in the film, and they don't know that after a while. I'm not saying people don't like it. Like, you can
Hmm.
have some stuff that's really really good, but the way my mind works, I drop a film once a year. Okay, if I push for two in a year, that'll just be something that I just felt like doing. But other than that, I never believe in oversaturating any situation. It's the same way with music. I just will not oversaturate it. But at the same time, with all this stuff coming and everybody talent and everything, you can get missing out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You could be get buried.
Well, you can't be. Well, the thing is, like you said, you can't be gone too long.
That's
But
right.
but the good part, like you talking about, like with film, you depending on your budget and all that,
Right.
it could take you half a year to film it anyway. Just
Yeah.
from pre-production to planning, pre-production, rewrites.
Yeah, it's gonna take you about, if you're doing it the right way, trying to make sure the sound good, to make sure all that stuff come together. It could be a good, some people are knocking that shit out in 3 months, 2 months.
It looked like it looked like they knocking it out in 2-3 months. That's like, because you said something interesting before I get to my next question. You talked about like reinvesting back into yourself. And so
Right.
it's like when you do your first movie or you do your first song or whatever, and you make a little money, you're supposed to reinvest that back in to get better production, get a better sound, or get a better producer, or you can't just say, "Oh, look what we made," and then you off running, and then your next movie look just like your
Yeah.
second, third, fourth. So yeah,
Yeah.
you got to reinvest. And I think sometimes in the independent space, that's kind of what we do. What people have been doing is they're not reinvesting back in themselves. They're not trying to find a different way to tell a story. It's
Right.
telling the story over and over. And
Same
I
narrative.
well, check this out. I heard somebody say, well, said to me, say, well, we tell these type of stories, and I say, well, you got to get out of that. And they was like, what do you mean? You gotta tell, there's nothing wrong with you telling these type of stories, but sometimes you need to get a story somebody else wrote to show your diversity of filmmaking, of telling different
Right.
types of stories. If all you
Right.
telling is hood stories,
Right.
you can only go so far,
That's
but
right. It puts a cap on your situation. It really
yeah,
does.
yeah, same thing
But
with singing.
but
Yeah.
but you know what? Sometimes,
Hmm.
being in there for so long,
Hmm.
just because you want to change it up and do all those things, some people just don't gravitate to that.
But see,
You
you
know,
have
some people just don't.
but see, you're different. And what I mean by that is you don't have to be in front of the camera.
Right.
See what I'm
Right.
saying? You can
Right.
put something out and people can like it, like, man, I like that. Man, that was good, that story, man. And I realized that you wrote it and directed it, you just went in it,
Right.
as far as
Right.
in front of the
Exactly.
camera. In
That's
front of
right.
the camera. So you have that unique ability to be able to say, okay, far as like you probably, and I'm sure you've gotten scripts, and
Right.
if there was going to be a business deal there, you probably had to show like, all right, let me show you how we gotta get a little bit more detail
Right.
in the writing of this to bring these characters to life.
Right.
So
Exactly. Hmm.
uh talk to me about Waiting for You. Talk to me about that song. Come on now, talk to me about waiting for who you waiting for.
So let me tell you. So again, back to what I was, with us talking about the film thing, I had became to the point where I noticed my movies was getting shorter, and people be talking junk. They so bad. Where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? Because
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to put together something totally different, and nobody will understand what I'm trying to do over here.
Okay.
So I remember the last film I just put out is called Even. Okay. And when I was done with that, film, I wanted to add another part to it. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a moment. I need to take a couple of months to just, like you said, get missing for a second.
Uh-huh.
And while I was sitting up there going through that moment, I was like, I'm feeling a little bit stagnant. I'm feeling like, I don't know why I'm doing this no more. I know how to do it, but I don't have no passion behind my doing no more, the way I normally like to feel. And so I said, well, you can't get tingles on every damn thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I remember going to go get something to eat, and I was talking about doing a show. I was gonna do like a just put together a concert or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I went to listen to some artists of people I wanted to do in there. And the first person that came up was King George. And I like King George. And I remember listening to his songs. And I was like, man, this song right here is something else. This boy can sing. I said, he got a voice on him. He got a certain attitude, got that blues. He got all that stuff I like.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, you know what? I love this sound. I wouldn't mind trying to check and see if I can do this sound. I remember just feeling this thing, this pull that was out. I mean, when I tell you all this happened in less than 10 minutes, I remember going to listen for a beat, and I said, I'm going to find me a beat. And this beat popped up, and I remember I felt something just hit me like right in the movie. I felt something hit me. I went and I tried to find my other phone. I said, oh God, I need to record this. I need to record this like now before I forget the tune. So I remember having my phone. I had another phone in my pocketbook, and it just so happened to have a little bit of juice to let me at least put that tune on that, to record that tune. And it was waiting for you. And I remember when the person came out the door and I said, I got it. I said, I don't know what type of sound this is. I don't know what to call it. I said, I don't know if it's Southern Soul. I don't know what it is, but I got a song that hit me like I'm just, like it was meant to be coming out of my mouth.
Gotcha.
And I remember singing it to them. I sung it to the person. They said, oh, that's Southern Soul. That's hot. And they started humming it with me. And I said, oh boy, I'm on to something. I got home, started digging for more beats. Shoot, I had done came across 5 more songs. I done wrote about 5 more. I said, okay, waiting for you is going to be the first one. And I went to the studio, recorded the song. And when I recorded, I was asking myself, what was making me think about waiting for you? And I thought about listening to a lot of men and women, how they go on about, you know, somebody cheating, and how women don't really want a man that work a certain type of job, and they want more money, or how men want a woman to be a certain way. You know, it's just always people just, you know, it seemed like we just coming at each other. Everybody just talking shit. So when I was writing it, I thought about it. I said, you know, I have met some really good men out here that work their ass off. And excuse my friend, I hope I can curse.
You good now? You good?
Okay. So I said they work hard and they don't have a woman. I'm like, why? All these women out here screaming they looking for a good man. Like, what's wrong with you, bruh? And then some of them got one that the woman don't want. So I thought about when I was writing the song, that's what clicked in. Like, here it is, a man that loves, you know, he in a relationship, but both of them are they rocky. He don't know when she leaving out the door, she out doing something else. She ain't going, it ain't him going to do the thing, it's her going to go do the thing. So I'm like, we ain't gonna let no good man just go to waste out here.
Well, I got one for you. I got one for you. I got the title. You gonna have to write it now, because that's not what I do. You know, I'm just an inspiration guy. I'm just a connector of people. That's just what I do. So here's your song. This gonna bring the people together. And when you write this song with this title, everybody gonna be like, they're gonna be waiting on you to do it. And that's is I've already won.
I know that's right.
I've already won. So it's just in my head, the what I'm talking about is more of whether it's a woman or a man, right? You already with the right person.
That's right.
There's no need to look for another.
If you in love,
you've already won. You know, because a lot of times what people think is, okay, like a guy, okay, I get with this woman, I get married or whatever. That don't mean you ain't gonna see another woman that's fine. That's not what that means. That you're gonna see somebody that's finer than your woman. You're gonna see somebody finer or gifted than your man. But that shouldn't be why you should, step out or whatever. You should know you've already won. You've won already. Just take your butt home. Just take your butt home.
But you know what? You know what's so funny? A lot of times we live in a time where it used to be a lot of the men out doing what they're doing, but a lot of the women there are a few women that don't want to feel, like they
Well,
want to
that's
just
our
be
fault.
a
That's our
man.
fault. No, that's our fault
So
because in
yeah,
in in,
men
in
do
the
play a
past.
role. That's right. Men do
No,
play a
I'm saying prior to the with it being more prevalent, like you're speaking,
role.
with women stepping out, that was because
Yeah,
of the men for so many decades. I ain't gonna say so many
that's
years,
right. Yeah.
so many decades of doing that, and then you had a situation where daddy's not home, so single parents, so
Yep.
you're having to be taught, to get out here and do it, go get yours, whatever you want to do with your career. And
Yep.
so the whole marriage thing and all that, see, when we were coming up, you had more families, mom and dad home, they're married, whatever. And watch this. And you remember, we still was growing up different in the same household. Because see, when you got mom and dad at home, you tell the son going out there, sow his oats, get as much as you can get before you settle down. Don't nobody tell their daughter that. Come on, don't nobody. You do not walk up on your niece. You know what I'm talking about? How many boyfriends you got? I know you got about 4 or 5. You'll ask little Eddie that. You'll ask little Eddie, oh, he gonna be a heartbreaker. Look at him. So we
Yep.
get we get raised. We been in the same household, but get raised different. And
Yep.
when
You
go
know
ahead.
what? That's right. No, you're right. Because a lot of times, like you said, in my household, I was raised by my grandma. So what I recognized with my grandma and what
Mm-hmm.
I saw with my mother was a rolling stone. Like she gonna be wherever the wind blew her is where she gonna go. Okay. So if she wanted to be with that man or that man, that's how she lived. Okay. Now that was her thought. And there are women out there that think that way. They're not gonna be held down for nothing. I used to ask my mama, why you date men that act like they crazy or got plates in their head? And she told me, because the ones that don't, they born. I said, what?
I've heard
They
that.
born.
I've heard that.
They
I've
born.
I've
She
I've
said
heard
they
that.
bought. They bought. She said they bought me. So what I'm noticing, like I said again, you are right. A lot of women have dealt with a lot of stuff from a lot of men being a certain way, but there are some women that women know how to get down. Even faster than we like Tupac say. I learned my game from a woman.
Yeah.
So 9 out of 10, you wouldn't even know the woman doing that.
Well, the hardest player I ever met was a woman. That's the
That's
hardest
right.
player
So,
because you guys are the stars. It's just let's keep it 100. He's
yeah,
not driving that car. He's not wearing those suits. He's not buying that house. He's not doing all that
yeah,
solely because
right.
that's what he wants. He's trying to attract
That's
a
right.
certain thing. And now watch this. But then here's the opposite, the flip side of what a lot of the young ladies today don't realize. When he take you home to mama,
Yep.
what attracts him that don't attract mama?
That's
Mama,
right.
mama
Right.
looking for something, and I ain't gonna put it out there in the atmosphere because I ain't got time for people to be scheming. But mama, just know mama looking for something totally different. Cause I always tell
Somebody's gonna take care of her soon.
But I always tell my nephews and little cousins, I say, listen, I don't count. Uncles and all, we don't count. We don't count because the only thing we looking at is how she look. She look good. Okay, boy, where you find her at? That type of thing. But
Right.
mama, auntie, they looking for something totally different. And just like when the girl bring a guy home. I
Yes.
always let young ladies know when you got a real father, he don't like nobody. You might well just get over
That's
that.
right.
He don't
Yeah,
like
no,
nobody.
you don't want
They
to hear none of that.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
him with it. I don't care if he could be a good guy. It don't matter. Daddy just waiting on the other shoe to drop. That's all he waiting on. If the other shoe drop, it's gonna be hell to pay.
That's right. That's right. You know what, Daddy don't. It's like them African people when they used to. I'm not for sure if it was a culture down there. I watched
Mm-hmm.
stuff on TV, and they were showing the culture of the woman. The man would pick the father would pick the type of husband for
Mm-hmm.
his daughter because and the man that he would pick for his daughter would have to have cattle and everything to take care of his daughter, because once she walk out that house,
No, she
he
can't
ain't
come
trying to
back.
have her come back.
Yeah.
That's right, because he still got to take care of the other kids. And he can't keep having the daughter go out there. And women are very good. Some of them that don't have their mental health together, they're very good at going out choosing someone based off of he look cute. The same way men do. That woman fine. You don't know if her mental health together. You don't know what her
She
situation
crazy.
is. The same way with a woman. She
Yeah.
could be out there going to go choose a man. Some of them are having children with them, and then they have a child. They're like, oh, this man ain't this and ain't that. Well, he wasn't that when you laid with him.
Yeah. Okay. Look, see what I told somebody one time. See what having fun will get you.
That's right. That's right. I know a lot of women that's sitting around saying that'll look at a child and they'll look at that child and be like, well, you only here because I was having fun, so don't play with me.
Well, black mothers don't play now. Black mothers don't play.
I don't get to talking. Look, don't get to talking no junk around here, because you gonna hear something come out of somebody's mouth that you ain't gonna like.
Okay. How did you how do you make sure you don't lose yourself within the different opportunities that come your way, from film to, whether you're acting or writing and then your music? How do you not lose Alyze within those opportunities? Because when you act, especially when you acting, people
Right,
think that you are that character. And you're like, but
right,
I'm not that's not that was a role. I'm not that person. And then,
right,
or if you're doing a song and you're conveying the song, uh
right,
people think that that's you. And so
right.
how do you make sure you don't, lose yourself in these different opportunities?
I think that one thing I've learned over the years, that to be successful, you have to sometimes not care what people think. You have to come into a place where you so tuned into yourself.
Mhm.
Because you're gonna hear, like you said, you got people that's gonna look at you and acting and they say, oh, that's her character, and that's who she is, and that's who da 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 da. And if you
Mhm.
sing a song a certain way, oh, look at her, that's what she doing, that's who she is. No, it might be a side of, all of us got a side of something inside of us.
Right.
You got
Yes.
them ancestors and all that DNA up in you.
Mhm.
So the way I look at it, I just always focus on what I believe for me. Who I know who I am, and why
Mhm.
somebody else talking about what they believe and what they think it is, I can't worry about that. It's
Gotcha.
very important to not get connected to someone's opinion of you, so that you won't get off balance. Because if you care about people's opinion too much, you're
Mhm.
going to lose yourself, because you're going to be trying to fix something that somebody else don't like.
Gotcha.
You
Gotcha.
see what I'm saying? So if I
Yeah.
like me, that's all that matters.
Well, you
Somebody,
got to
it
like
might be
you.
10 people, and look, it might be 10 people that can't stand me. But long as I like me, I'm gonna let them 10 people try to project and tell me I'm this and I'm that, but I'm gonna let them stay over there. I ain't even gonna worry about it.
Well, you can't you're not gonna please everybody, and
Yeah,
everybody's not supposed to be your friend anyway. If everybody's your
uh,
friend, you doing something wrong, not
you
right.
doing
You
something
doing
wrong.
something
That's
wrong.
right.
You doing something wrong.
And
Matter of fact,
I realized that.
if everybody likes you,
You doing something.
you probably don't know who you are, because there's
That's
no
right.
way you can be friends with everybody.
Everybody, you can't. You cannot do. Trust me. When I thought about going into Southern Soul, I got about 2 or 3 songs that I know some women gonna be looking at me like, "What the hell did she just say?" I'm like, well, I know one thing. When I go deep down in the South, they don't play. They get to talking, and you hear some things come out of their mouth that
Yeah,
I didn't even know was gonna come out of their mouth. I'm
yeah, the
like, did
South's
she
different.
say that? Yeah, they on a different level. They on some different stuff. I done rolled through the South, the deep South, and I done heard some things that I was like, oh, did he just say that on the radio? Did she just say that? I was like, oh, they right up my alley. They right up my alley. I've been missing my people. I've been looking for them type of people,
Yeah.
because I done got tired of kind of putting a band-aid on some of my stuff. I've been putting band-aids on, like, all right, I ain't gonna say that, but this person gonna act like this person can't even handle me doing this. So let me go and put a band-aid on it.
And that's the thing. You have to be, um you know you have to be uniquely yourself
Yeah.
and you can always. I mean, you have to know how to move in certain circles, but
Right.
at the
That's right.
same time,
That's
but at
true.
the same time, you have to be you because nobody can beat you being you.
That's
You
right.
know. And I think a lot of times when people, that's why I tell people I don't compete with anybody because if I'm competing, that means now I'm trying to beat you at your own game,
That's right.
and
And you.
I can't be, now I'm losing me. I'm losing
That's
me
right.
because, but if I just stay me and just do me,
That's
then
right.
I'll be all right. So I like that. I
Right.
like that thinking. My final question for you. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Um, let me see how to ask this question. Do you in your travels and film and the music coming out, do you find that people don't know what to do with Alizé because they haven't taken the time to get to know who Alizé is?
I do feel like I play a role in that because I'm very much I have a side to me that I'm secretive, but at the same time I like to like I'm in the limelight. But you can't be a person that don't want nobody in your business or don't want nobody in your space and trying
Mhm.
to project outward in a world that want to know who you are.
Mhm.
So I say, well, only thing they need to know is my talent. They don't need to know, what I do at home, what I'm doing in the private of my own
That's
home.
true. That's true.
Like that side of me, I'm working on that side. Like sometimes people always wonder why you don't go live, why you don't go do this, and why you don't go do that. Because you wouldn't know my situation unless I tell you.
Right.
You won't know I'm living in my car unless I tell you. You get what I'm saying? And I don't even
Yes.
deal with socialize with people enough for them to know that side, of the whether it's the goods, the
Okay.
ups or the downs.
Okay.
I show people exactly what I came in this game to show them, my talent.
Gotcha. That's good. And the reason and correct me if I'm wrong now. Correct me if I'm
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Okay.
But let me ask you this. So and because that's everything you said I agree with is good.
Right.
Do you think it's that way because also you're direct in a way that you don't mind telling a person when I say not mind telling them no, I mean from a standpoint of like, no, this how you get. Nah, this I'm doing it. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. In other
Right.
words, no, we not going to dinner. I can't hear do the film. Finna do the film. The film
That's right.
over with. I'm going home. All right.
That's right.
Now, if we going to dinner, is everybody going to dinner? Because if
Right.
everybody going to dinner, I can just get in the car with so and so. Who
Right.
I was in the movie with. But
Right.
I'm not just getting in. Just gonna come meet you. You know what I'm saying? So do
What
you
you
find
first?
do you
Right.
find that's why? Because you don't mind telling people no, in a sense of like you said, I'm only bringing you the talent. The
Right.
other stuff, you're not gonna slick. You're not gonna slick your
You
way
have to
in
be,
this.
that's right, you have to be, because in this game you got people who are all looking for opportunity, and there's nothing wrong with that. And
Hmm.
when you kind of find um you find that level of celebrity or that level of financial gain for yourself,
Hmm. Hmm.
you can't be open to everybody that want to come in your space. Just because they want to be there, you can't just be like, hey, come on over, because you don't know you don't know their intentions. You might feel something in your gut, but you know what? You can eliminate that by just saying, you know what? I ain't even got time for it. If I want you in my space and I feel good about having you in my space, I'm gonna pull you in my space. But if I don't want you in my space and I just want to keep this work, let's
Hmm.
just talk about this work. Let's just be about this work. And when it comes to fans, trust me, some of them can be a little bit aggressive. They need
Okay.
to know all your stuff. They need to be in your business. They want to know all kinds of stuff about you. And you be like, why do you need to know all of that?
Okay.
What,
Like why
what,
you?
what, what are you really looking for? Are you trying to find my bank account number? What are you looking for?
That mean you don't have nothing going on at the house. I was like, man, I got a hard time being me. I ain't got time to be trying to figure out what Alyze doing every moment. I got
like I get it. Like I love when people show me love. I try to be authentic as I can, but at the same time, leave some mystique to yourself. You don't have to just put everything about you out there. You know, I remember one time when my son had got on the page and I shared them. All of a sudden, there were grown women, you know, talking about don't tell your mama, but you something fine and all this stuff. I told him, you better not bring none of them damn women in my house. That's what I told my son. So you were right. You were right. How we all were right. But
hey,
see, I was like, don't you better not bring one of them to my damn house, or they gonna get it. They gonna
and
find
you know
out
what?
that girl is about to come out.
And you know what's so crazy about that is the what you call it, the double standard, because we will be like, why you trip? Okay, she's a couple years older than me. Why you trip? And then, mama will be like, boy, she old enough to be your mother or your auntie. And the young guy, we sitting there like, but she fine though. But you can't say that to your mama, because that's really not an excuse to. Now watch
But you
this.
know
If the
what?
roles is flipped, and
Right.
your daughter talking to this dude that's old enough to be her daddy, somebody got to die. Somebody got to go.
Well, I mean, the truth is that is true. That's how we are. But you know what? The reason why I told him that is because I be like, they don't even like nothing on my page, so they damn sure ain't walking in my damn house.
Okay. You cannot bring somebody in my house and we graduated high school the same year. That's just not.
Nah, she don't even like stuff on my page. Let's all talk about she about to marry my son. Nah, you won't get back at me in no kind of way.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, blessing us with your presence. And matter of fact, tell people where they can find your music and your films.
Well, they can find my music on if they just pull up alyze.com or go to my my page, Alyze on Instagram, TikTok. I have my bio, which has all the movies, each movie in there, and then my music. Normally I have a link on there. You know, the music is always going to be on your Apple store, or you can find it on YouTube, whatever works. But spell my name. I know a lot of people are like, how do you know how to spell her name? It's ALYZE. People always have a problem with spelling my name.
Well, we got it now.